Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you all for coming along and giving us this opportunity to tell you all about what we do. The majority of us are not-for-profit agencies. You all know that we're not advertised everywhere, and a lot of our services are hard to find, so these opportunities are really valuable for us. So yes, I'm not much for a PowerPoint presentation. I think you get a lot more actually speaking to people. So I'll give you a quick rundown on what we do, and then afterwards you can come and speak to myself and my colleague Kath over there, and we can tell you more about our service. So we are a disability employment service. We're one of the only ones that are purely disability. It's all we do. I guess there are two really core things in what we do and being successful. The first is making a good job match. That's the most important thing for us. And the second is the support we provide on the job. In terms of making a really good job match, that comes down to two things for us. It comes down to really getting to know our clients and taking everything into consideration, looking at past, history, looking at education, looking at past experience in employment, looking at medical conditions and everything, and also looking at things that are as simple as a location, hours, distance, things like that to make it work. At the same time, the other thing that's really important in making a good job match is our relationships with employers. That's a really big part of what we do. There is still a lot of weight held in the old saying that it's not what you know, it's who you know. And especially these days when job search is very informal, very formal and very in-person. So it's very rare that you actually speak to somebody and even get feedback a lot of the time. So what it's all about is really getting people in front of important people, getting people opportunities, doing things like work trials, going out, having young people actually meet employers, learn about what the job is before actually moving forward. A lot of people apply for jobs, if they don't hear anything back, it's very hard to follow up on those things. So a lot of what we do is just building relationships across a number of different industries and at every level as well. So we negotiate with the employers, we're able to offer them some financial incentives from the government, as well as a fair bit of support and training as well. So we do a lot of work as well around educating employers, so giving them some training on how to manage somebody with different disabilities, with mental health conditions, how to get the best out of your staff. And a lot of the times, employers just aren't equipped, and it's not down to anything bad. A lot of times it's just they haven't been exposed to somebody with a disability. Then once we place somebody into a job, then it's all about support. When we place somebody into a job, we help them settle into the job, help them learn everything they need to learn. We also allocate a job coordinator who visits every week or every 2 weeks to see how things are going. And they also liaise with the employer. They're your go-to person to make it work. And for us, our measure of success isn't how many jobs we get, it's how long they last. So doing that groundwork at the start of really getting to know somebody, putting them into the right job, then that means that we can be successful in making that job work. If we put somebody into a job that's completely wrong for them, then we set ourselves up to fail. It's going to be very hard for us to achieve what we need to achieve and to have a positive impact on that person's life. So it's really a customised service tailored to the individual. And in terms of young people leaving school, we look at things like apprenticeships, pre-apprenticeships, traineeships, also different certificates and courses that can be done to work towards a goal of employment. So and the support we provide, that's ongoing as long as need be. The longest we've supported somebody is 25 years in a job, and then we have plenty of clients who turn around to us after a year, maybe 2 years, and say, hey, I don't need you guys anymore, I've got it from here. So, and when that happens, we know we've done a good job. So, yeah, that's us in a nutshell, people. So, anybody have any questions? Cool.
Thanks so much, David. These first three speakers are all heading off to another similar evening, so get in quick if you want to ask them any questions because they're heading off pretty quickly. Next, I'd like to welcome Galen Williams. He is from APM Communities.
Hey everyone. Sorry. I've just got one slide to show everyone. Thanks very much to Gillian and everyone at Butler College for inviting me to present today. I work for APM Communities. So APM Communities, about 2 years ago, along with Mission Australia and Wansley, were awarded the Partners in the Community project with the NDIS. So APM Communities has a number of local area coordinators that are based in Joondalup and Warwick for the North Metro area. And we help to work with you, put your plans together for your son or daughters. Can I just find out how many here actually have an NDIS plan at the moment? Yes? Wow, okay, very good. How many in year 10, 11, 12? Yep. Year 13? No. So the role that I've got is as the employment program manager within APM Communities. A couple of roles that I have is to help increase the knowledge of our local area coordinators about different types of employment supports that are available out there. So not just about customized employment, but also information about disability employment services and Australian disability enterprises as well. So on the 11th and the 13th of August, I'm actually running a employment supports workshop. On the 11th of August, it will be from 10:30 to 12:30 in the afternoon at our Warwick office. If you need more information, come and have a chat with me. If you'd like to learn more about what the session can help with. But it's really my role to help families and participants to prepare for their planning meeting and to ask those questions about what types of employment support are available for their son or daughter, whether they're at school or preparing to leave school. The second session is actually on the 13th of August, and that will be at between 3:30 and 5:30 in the afternoon. So the couple of areas that we will be covering in that session, we will talk a little bit about the possibilities of disability employment services and Australian disability enterprises as well. We will talk importantly about the NDIS funding that could be needed for your son or daughter to help them pursue their various employment goals. We have an overview of what customized employment is, as that was already explained with Kathy and Debbie, and then to clear up some misinformation about the disability support pension and employment. So I invite you to come along. It's a free workshop to come along to. If you would like to register, I've got my contact information there, or if not, you can come and have a chat with me. Mine is the table without any bribery paraphernalia. It didn't arrive, unfortunately, so yeah. But yeah, if there are any questions from anybody, yeah.
From I live south of the river.
Yep.
Ian's likely to come in next week. Yep. How does that sit with going to these sort of sessions? Do you cover both north and south?
Yeah. Can I ask what part? South of the river? West? Yes, absolutely. So that's within the areas that are part of Partners in the Community with the NDIS, divvied up between Mission Australia and Advanced Personnel Management. So for Port Kennedy, yeah, absolutely. We'll be looking at running some sessions for the South Metro in probably the end of August, beginning of September. Yeah. Any other questions from anyone? No? All good? All right. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Okay, now I'd like to welcome Grace Davis from At Work to speak to you.
Good afternoon. My name is Grace Davis. I'm the Senior Employment Advisor for At Work Australia. So we are primarily an employment organisation. We also provide therapy supports. So we have finding and keeping a job programs as well as SLES programs. That's a school leaver employment support program. That has many different aspects. Have any of you heard of the school leaver employment support program before? Okay. So a school leaver employment support program will look different from each individual. It's very much an individualized, personalized plan. I would meet with families and children, young adults, all the way up from anywhere from 15 years and 9 months up until the age of 22. That's the eligible age criteria for that program. Throughout that program, we would mentor, we would also create resumes, interview skills. It could be anything from transportation training, as well as jobs, looking for work placements, volunteer placements to gain experience, and also furthering education. It could be a combination of all of those different programs. So it might be the outcome is your goal is to attend TAFE and obtain a certificate, 2 or 3, say in daycare, or it might be in program design. It's whatever it is that your interest is. So we will follow through with that. I'm currently working with a young lady who is studying a certificate 2 in sports and recreation. And now she has decided that what she actually likes about that through discovery activities is that she enjoys working with children because she doesn't feel that peer pressure and she doesn't feel judged by older people. So now she has started a work placement in a daycare this week, and she's going to be starting a TAFE course next year to obtain her certificate in childcare. I have another young man. I think it's sort of helpful, personally, to give you some real life experiences of real people that we help and how we help them. So I have another young man who has school leaver employment support funding as well. He's been out of school now for a year, and he completed a certificate 2 in business. He's now decided he wants to start his own business and attend TAFE and take a certificate 2 and possibly go on to completing a diploma in business, as well as anime, which is his passion and design. So those are things that we're exploring, but along the way we're also gaining some life skills and experience through volunteer positions, some paid positions, and plenty of one-to-one training and mentoring in communication skills, you know, what it's like to work in a workplace, what their expectations are, and you know, how to express yourself, what's acceptable communication, sort of do's and don'ts within the work environment. It's not limited to that, because we obviously sit down with families and say, are there areas that you feel that you need to have sort of improved upon or enhanced, skills that you need a little bit extra help with? So that's something we're very open and very hands-on. Okay? Does anybody have any questions? We also provide psychology services, and in addition, we have positive behavioral supports, which can be a little bit tricky to find. So if that's something that you're looking for, we also provide those. And we have 14 offices for both Metro North and South, so very accessible. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Next to speak with you is Roxana Jackson from North Metro TAFE. And I'll just let everyone pass that needs to. Thank you so much for coming. Thanks.
Thank you. With your depth in front of you.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Roxanne Jackson from North Metro TAFE. We obviously are TAFE in an educational institution, and we have courses, and I work in the disability programs. We have programs on Joondalup campus and a Leederville campus further down the hill. There's only 2 programs at Joondalup. We would love to expand it, but the government won't give us any more money. So maybe you could all rally and fight the government and get some more programs happening up this way. We probably have about 15 or 16 different courses that we teach. We start at Certificate 1, and we only do Certificate 1 and Certificate 2, and if people are competent in doing Certificate 2s, then they can go on to mainstream and do further Certificate 3s, 4s and diplomas. We have a disability support department where you can go if you need extra support for your child to help them with studying, like if they're vision impaired, you can get all sorts of stuff provided by TAFE for you. If they need a note taker or something like that, then the TAFE will provide that. We will not provide an education support assistant for you. That has to come from you. What we do though is if you have in your NDIS plan a support worker, then we say bring your support worker to TAFE with you. They can sit in class and help you, whatever. Sometimes we need them for behaviour support, sometimes we need them for just to prompt and keep the person going during class time, you know, because they switch off sometimes. We interview everybody first before we place them into a course. You can choose the course you want. Say you want to do Certificate 1 in Business. You will book an interview online with us and come and have an interview with the lecturers who actually teach that course. And we will decide from there whether you have the skills to cope in that course, or you can go up to the Certificate 2 course if your skills are really good, or you might not have the technology skills that we require you to have, so we will advise you to go into one of our technology courses first and then transition into the business course. So we kind of don't want to set you up to fail in a course, because some parents and school people think that because they've done this at school then they can actually do this in TAFE, but they can't, because it's just the way the courses are structured. We start usually with school leavers. People in the past have come to TAFE as a day release from school, but that's kind of not encouraged anymore with the government because they're not funding it anymore. The government used to fund it and you could get it for $50 for a year or something, whatever course you were doing. Now you have to pay thousands. So yeah, we kind of don't do that anymore, but if you really want to and you've got the funding, you can come as a day release student to do literacy or maths or computing or whatever, a part-time course, not a full-time course. We have several part-time courses that are usually only 2 hours a week each course, so you can do a couple of part-time courses. So some people come and do maths, literacy and computing together, or they'll do art, literacy, maths or computing, whatever. They can fit it however it fits in with the timetable and their week. All our teachers are disability qualified. They've been teaching in the field for 20 plus years. We have all sorts of things going on. Usually Butler is one of our big supporters of our what we call Market Day, which is our open day, and the school bring the students down and we have a tour of our little area and explain the courses. I don't know if any of you have been on one before, but because of COVID this year we're not doing that, and I'm here to tell you about TAFE. Now, if you want to find out about our courses, we have this thing. I don't know if some of you young people are familiar with QR codes, or you older people, QR codes. I wasn't until they actually showed me how to do it. Now this, if you can scan this with your phone, and I'll show you over there if you're interested, and you can take one with you. You scan this with your camera on your phone, and it will take you straight to our website and the disability course, all the courses we offer. So then you can go in and have a look. It is imperative that you book an interview because otherwise we don't accept you. Okay, you can't just say, oh, I want to do, you know, art links or something. We have to interview you first. Usually because of the literacy skills, we give you a literacy test, and then we will advise you where to go, or what we're going to put you into, or if you can do the course that you want to do. Only because TAFE is it's not like school where you can get lots of support to help you achieve a higher level or something like that. At TAFE we have certain levels we have to achieve, and if you don't have the literacy skills to achieve that, and because we don't have education assistance, it makes it a lot harder for you to cope in. So we're very kind and we'll help you with the interview, and it's not that big a deal. It's not scary at all. We're nice people. At Joondalup campus, we only have 2 courses, and they are called, it's called the GATE course, which stands for Gaining Access to Training and Employment. I actually teach those, and I don't actually know what they have to do with gaining access to employment, because they don't. But they're kind of courses for school leavers who aren't quite sure what they want to do with their life yet. And it's more community literacy, continuing with your math skills, technology skills, communication skills, all those things you need in the adult world away from school. So that's what, there's an introductory course and a certificate 1 course. So again, when we interview you, we decide which course you'd be better to go into. At Leederville, we have all the other courses. We have horticulture course, we have maths, we have literacy, we have certificate 1 and certificate 2 in business. We have a couple of IT courses, we have art courses, we have, there's lots of them. We are in the process of changing our courses for next year. Most of them will stay the same, but you'll hear this buzzword or this buzz phrase around at the moment called skill sets. And what that means in a TAFE perspective is that we take skill, instead of doing a whole course, which takes a year, we are breaking that down into 3 or 4 units from a course, and you do it in a semester. And you might get sick of doing a course for a whole year. So we break it down so that you can do a certain amount of skills in a semester, and then if you like the course, then go and do the next skill set. So it's 3 or 4 units, but probably 4, out of a whole course instead of doing the whole course. So we're in the process of doing that and making it shorter for you guys, because usually our courses go for a year. I think that's about all. Is there any questions about TAFE? We have a lot of kids from Butler who actually come to our course.
If our kids fail older, I heard that they're not allowed to go to TAFE. Is that true?
No.
There are stuff they can do.
That's why we do the interview process.
Okay.
Yeah. And we check out what we can offer you. Yeah.
When can you do the interviews?
They're usually up on the website around the end of October, beginning of November, and the interviews are week 9 in term 4. Yeah. Get in as quick as you can, because we have hundreds of interviews.
So the course starts February next year?
Yeah, school time. Yeah, school time. Our school terms run a little bit differently to school, in that we only have 1 week of holidays in April, 2 weeks in July, and 1 week in September. And then we finish a bit earlier than school, so that's how it works. Any other questions? If you're interested in an interview, I would watch the website around October and get in as quick as you can, because it does fill up, because there's only so many of us. Okay, come and see me afterwards if you're interested, and take a QR code and I'll show you how to work it, and so it takes you straight to the website. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Finally, we have Tanya and Carly from Active speaking to you. And then after they've finished, that's the end of the formal presentations as such. But we do have some other providers who have information on their table over there. So we've got Jessica from Inclusion WA and Sharon. We've got Jessie Dawkins from Autism WA. And we've got Matthew Mullen from Interlife. So there's other organisations that aren't speaking that can give you some information after this. Thanks, ladies.
So we have a table over there for afterwards if you guys have any questions about any of Active services. I recognise a couple of people out there. So my name's Tanya, I work for Active. I've worked for the past 20 years. My role at the moment is Customer Engagement Coordinator. So I love to go out and meet with families and just talk to them about how I can link our services to help someone achieve their goals and a level of independence that they want to achieve. So I'll just give you a quick overview of Active services. So we do a whole range of services, so starting with community supports, so that whether that's in a group or one-to-one supports. that help someone access their local community with full sort of choice and control over what they want to do. So we do have some set programs, otherwise we can help someone access the gym, go to movies, have a coffee with friends, maybe do some volunteering, exercise. So sort of we have a discussion around what's someone's goals and then work towards achieving them. We also, so our employment that we offer, we have the Carly's works for our property care service. So we also have industrial services, property care, which is like commercial landscaping,
Gardening, maintenance, that sort of thing.
Yep. And we've also we've finished a pilot project that has now gone into production, which is a cleaning business. So that's sort of a bit different to the supported employment because people work in crews. That's a blend of open employment and supported employment. So working people to work towards open employment. So we also offer, which is a new program as well, with career coaching, which is kind of similar to what you heard about earlier with the customised employment. So that's a good program for people that are just leaving school, maybe year 10 and onwards, to use your finding and keeping a job funding to discuss, to try and find out what it is that you're looking for in employment, what your skill sets are, what you like and interested in, and working through the process, so offering work experience, internships and things like that.
We do things like resume writing and
a lot of Carly's property care employees have been through the career coaching.
Yeah, so
program.
they identified what areas that they would like to go work in. They practice on resume writing, and then they actually did some work placement. So on top of their employment, 1 or 2 days a week, they went out into open employment, which was supported as well to have a go at open employment and see if that was an avenue for them.
And then the last couple of options we've got is accommodation, so further down the track, so moving out of home, or arranging sort of team people up to move out of home with people that have the same sort of support needs and interests and housemates. And we also have short-term accommodation. And finally we have a registered training organisation called Active Pathways. So that's providing people with certificate level courses, kind of similar to TAFE, but a bit smaller sort of range, and tailored towards people learning with disability.
And through employment, we access this as well. So in property care, we do a lot of gardening and maintenance, and a lot of our employees will then go on to do Set 1 and Set 2. We've got from that too.
That's us. Thank you.
Come and see us. Okay, so that's it for the formal presentation part of it. So the rest of the afternoon, you're welcome to go and talk to whoever you like, pick up some brochures, just enjoy the rest of the session, chat to each other. And I just want to thank Maureen while I'm here for all her help organising today.